Welcome to Post Game Podcast. I'm your host, June. I got my boy B Foster with me. What's going on, brother?
Hey, it's another week of beautiful of great Pistons basketball.
Well, okay, you bundled up, man. Is it cold on your side of town or what, bro?
It's cold on your side of town too. You probably just didn't leave your windows open today. Still trying to warm mine up.
Nah, yeah, I get it, man. I get it, man. How things, it's funny how things can turn. Like this morning, just this morning, I went outside to move my car out the driveway so my wife can get out. It's 51 degrees. By
Goodness.
by 11 o'clock, it was 33 degrees. It got down to the 20s. I'm like, how was it start off warm in the morning and get colder during the day? It's usually the other way around, right?
Exactly.
But that's good old Michigan weather for you. Good old Michigan weather for you. And we had a beautiful day yesterday, weather-wise. I hope you guys got outside, got a chance to enjoy it because it's gonna be cold for a couple of days. No way, matter of fact, over the weekend should be better. Should be better weather-wise. I don't want to talk about the weather like that, but still, when you live in Michigan and you have a winter like we do, you look forward to those days. But let's get right into it. Right after the All-Star break, how many games was we had? Is it 3 or 2?
No, at least three. Magic, Knicks,
Oh yeah, the Magic.
Magic.
It's one of those games I wanted to forget about. Let's be let's put it in perspective. The last 3 games after the All-Star break, the Pistons have looked pretty competitive. The
Yeah.
Magic game, there's 2 out of the first 2 were losses, but I have questionable non-calls in both games. At the end of the game. Now,
Yeah.
the title of this whole show today is Pistons, Turnovers, Refs. Oh my. For one, we're the Pistons. We the record speaks for itself. We turn the ball over. Then there's another monster as of late. And it's been happening a lot during the season. Foster was in the building when they played Milwaukee and had the refs just totally blow calls at the end of the game. There's also before the before right, I mean, before the All-Star break, Cade had 64 attempts, shooting attempts, without a foul being called. And this is a person that gets to the rim and he doesn't shoot catch and shoot a lot. It's a lot of driving shots. It's He's getting contacted a lot, but he's not getting the calls. Foster, I'm frustrated. I'm very frustrated. Uh, Not only are the season is what it is, but don't. Refs can't get this wrong. And we're going to start with the Orlando game now. You can call us nitpicky with the Orlando game. At the end of the game, I thought Pinchero, whatever his name is, thought he traveled. Thought he got an extra step in there. Not only did he get an extra step, he got an and one. And I thought that was questionable. Anyway, the score was tied. He travels, hit the bucket, they call a foul, game over. They win by 3. Tough luck. First game after the All-Star break. Got it. Cool. I'm ready to move on. The Knicks game.
Crazy game. That was crazy.
The guy hit Thompson like he was a running back to get the ball. Bro, me and you talked about this, Foster. Foster, you said he should have grabbed the ball instead of trying to dribble. Regardless, that's not football. That was a tackle. That was a textbook tackle Only thing he didn't do was rap.
Yeah, not even good form.
He didn't rap. He didn't drive. That's the only thing he didn't do. Other than that, that should have been a loose ball foul. If you can call what you called against Panchera, or what's the proper way to say his name?
It starts with a B. Boncaro.
For Orlando,
Yeah, Paulo Boncaro.
whatever. If you can call that foul at the end of the game, you can definitely call that foul against the Knicks at the end of the game. However, 2 no calls, they lose the game off those calls. Is it safe to say, Foster, we probably would have won those games without those calls? Well, the Orlando game was tied, so, but we would have won the next game.
Yeah, that was in the bag.
Yeah, that was in the bag. Foster, and you could see Monty Williams' frustration at the press table. There was no hiding it. He was like, "That's the worst no call ever." Monty, that's what I need.
Yeah.
We need that, Monty. All these laid back approaches all season long, this, that, and other. We need that fiery Monty. Foster, is it too late? Are we really? Is it too late to fuss about stuff like this, or are we just not say anything? What do you think we should be doing?
I mean, just in the progression of the games, I mean, the Orlando one was pretty controversial, and the Knicks one took the cake, especially since they pretty much owned up to the fact that they messed up. Um, to be honest, the only way to combat stuff like that is winning basketball games. You're not gonna you're not gonna get the benefit of the doubt and the benefit yeah, you're not gonna get the benefit of the doubt, and you're not gonna reap the benefits of a 50-50 call when you lose when you've been losing the majority of your games for the last I don't know how long. So you're just gonna have to thug it out and win some games because say what you want about Paulo Banchero, he's a young player, but he's also an all-star. Say what you want
Yeah,
about the Knicks are a playoff team. Brunson is a star.
lights out.
That yeah, so they're not willing to go out of their way to call a fair ball game for a team that's just not good. So there's none you can outside of complaining and voicing your gripes about the calls. The only thing you can do is go out there and coach better basketball games, play better basketball games, because we're not going to act like yes, that was a deciding factor, but we're not going to act like one play um, wins or loses a game. There's more. There's hundreds of more plays throughout a game that decide a victory outside of one bad loose ball foul
Absolutely,
call. So
absolutely.
not too much you can do about it. I mean, I no Cade has never gotten the um has never reaped the benefits of being a star number one pick, but he's also never won anything, and he has yet to play a full season of basketball. So hey, you might want to try that one of these years. I don't know.
You know what I noticed also about Cade Foster?
Yes.
I'm
What?
starting to see a trend with him. A trend with him. One you can use that will. I mean, you can't do it all game, but you can run plays through Cade if you can get him to that elbow spot. He has the option to shoot, drive, or pass because he's knocking that down at a very high clip. He gets that shot off at the elbow, he's knocking it down majority of the time. So they have to honor it. So at some point, they're either going to uh, they're going to run at him, and he can go past, and he'll be able to dish, or get to the rack. So you have something here where you can run him off, get him to that to that sweet spot with the ball. I mean, make it to where he doesn't have to drive with the ball and get there because it's a lot tougher with the ball, to get where you want. But some screens, some set plays where he can get the ball around that sweet spot, and I'm starting to see he's loving that elbow. He's shooting from there from a high clip, and it looks. It's like when he catches it there, and there's a man. It's like, okay, this a bucket.
It's nearly automatic. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
What's going to happen is defenders are going to have to honor it, and he'll be able to do more.
Yeah. Huh?
And there's a graphic that you sent me. I'm gonna put it on the screen, and I thought it was very interesting. Uh, like I said, you can say too much, too little, too late if you like, but at the same time, as fans, we have to look forward to anything that's good that's going on.
Absolutely.
So, hold on. The browser can't access. Oh wow, now it's acting up, Foster. Ain't that something?
Is it doing something now?
Yeah. Try to catch. Oh my gosh. This is not acting right. Now I said it won't do it. Okay. There we go. There we go.
Got it up?
Yeah. Pause. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey
Oof,
yo.
that's crazy. Anywho.
Foster, introduce this here for our listeners and for our viewers there. What you found here.
All right. So the graphics is the 3-point field goals for the season. It breaks it down by the beginning of the year up until December, and then our field goal percentage post December. I'm not sure when the trade deadline was. When was that? January? Was that in January?
I think that was in January.
So pretty much post trade deadline, we can venture to say.
Hmm.
But our shooting percentage, one of the things that we have acknowledged that we have struggled at this year is spacing the floor, opening things up for um, our guards. And yes, obviously 33% from three is not good. Um, but um, it it has gone up, so we can say 40%.
Say
It's
40. You
39.5.
say
We can
40.
we can round up to
Give
40%,
us
which is
something. Give us something.
so. Yes, so this is so as far as everybody in the league, we have made the biggest improvement. We jumped 23 spots in that category, and I think a lot of that is due. This is not ironic at all that Simone Fontecchio is in the picture for this graphic, but um, I cannot go without mentioning Mike Muscala, who is now gone. Did you know that he was bought out of the
Yeah.
contract?
He
Yes. So
wants to
Mike
play
Mus
for a contender.
yes, who doesn't? Um, yeah. So Mike Muscala shot pretty well for us. Gallinari didn't play very much, but um, I'm sure that Gallinari had decent numbers. But also, I think the emergence of Marcus Sasser, who is currently injured, I think that he assisted in that as well. Um, Fournier, Fournier, say
Fournier.
what you want. It's crazy because he has literally not played much the last 2 years. I think they said that the Bulls game was his sixth game of the year altogether, which is crazy because most of those were in Detroit. They were not in New York.
Yeah.
So he has been riding the bench in New York, but Fournier has shot pretty well. Um, and a not so likely uh, addition, Malachi Flynn has been pretty solid shooting from three as well. So you love to see it because this is one of the big things that has been an issue for us, and we have been much more consistent. I don't know what our record is in the last 20, But um, needless to say, the emergence of actual outside shooting has definitely enabled us to win more ball games. And um, yeah, Fontecchio has been a solid 15, 16 point a game guy, shooting efficiently and playing decent defense, not only at the three, but also the four, which is what we kind of teetered on. Can he play the four? Because we need a four real bad. And so he's done pretty well, and he's just let it fly. Honestly, he's just
Hey,
shoot.
don't leave him open. Last
Yeah.
night they left him open once too many times in the fourth quarter, and he was knocking them down.
So
He has a nice shot, and I like him when he's on the floor.
and I didn't even mention Grimes because Grimes hasn't really played that much, and
He's
um,
getting acclimated. He's getting
yes, and he's probably had just the one good game, which was against the Knicks. He went, he was not playing with the Knicks. He was out there really
yeah.
trying to get them up out of here. So um,
He joined the turnover party though. He's been turning the ball over for the rest of the team.
absolutely, you gotta join the culture and just when in Rome, throw that ball away a little bit. So uh,
That's horrible, bro.
that's the slow. That's what a wise man once said that when in Rome, throw the ball away. So.
Oh
Um,
boy.
but yeah, it's good to see guys playing with purpose, because we saw some really lackluster efforts throughout that losing streak, and
Hmm.
despite the fact that it's late in the year, and you know we're expecting the tank to go down.
No, you
Um,
can't expect the tank to go down. You don't have to tank right now.
true,
You don't have
true, but
to.
we no longer have the worst record now. The Wizards have a worse record than us now, I believe, if I'm
But
not
what did we
mistaken.
say? What did we say last year? This is why you don't tank because we wound up with the fifth pick.
Yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
yes. But and that's the thing. Despite the fact that everybody in their mom knew that having the worst record didn't mean best draft pick, we had some very tankish lineups
Yeah. And then on top of that, what are you tanking for?
this year.
There's nothing appetizing on the menu this year.
I think there's still a consensus number one pick, but
Yeah, but there's not a Wimby that you're going crazy for. There's not
no.
a number one that you're saying, oh, he's going to be the game changer one day. So,
Spurs tanking real hard right now.
but you play with what you got. You've tanked most of the season already. Now it's time to get some reps, get the team on a get the team to acclimated to each other going into and head into the off season on a upbeat note with some confidence. You've tanked the first 70% of the games. Finish it out. Finish it out. Just play. Don't put in no tinkering or tanking lineups. Play your best people that are healthy, and you hope that it builds momentum for the next season. And you get some players that's saying, "Hey, they're fighting. I wouldn't mind going to the Pistons." You know,
That's the whole thing. Yeah, if we can end on a strong note with like a last 15 win 12-3, which is crazy. That's pretty wild. That's pretty
that's
wild.
pretty.
But that would be eye opening to see a 12-3 finish to the season.
We got 25 games left. Hold on, Foster. Let's get to a break, and we'll come back and we'll talk some more about this. This is getting good. I like where we're going. Hold on one second. For our listeners, you'll have some ads, and for our viewers, we'll be back in about 6 seconds. I mean, because everything you're doing right now, Foster, is building for up future seasons right now. And
Yeah.
like I said, tanking, we've already done that. I mean, I didn't know that we were uh, ahead of the Wizards, but That could change because we're not that far ahead of the Wizards. So I'm pretty sure that they're thinking the same thing. We can't tank anymore. We've tanked. We got to win some ball games to keep people in the stands the rest of the season and build on next season. Because why you looking for? So I want to know the Wizards record, and ours is 9 and what?
So theirs is 9-49, and ours is, oh, we're tied.
And
But we
see,
had the but we had the tiebreaker because have they beat us they have beat us this year, but I think we beat them twice. I don't know. We have the same record is what it looks like. We're both 9-49.
okay,
So it's
and
not the we so correct. We are not the worst. We share the worst.
yeah.
Correct.
So at this point, you play to win. You play to win because we've seen we can have the most ping pongs inside uh, the lottery and still come up short. Uh, last year, we were destined to get the number one pick with the odds and wound up with the number five pick. So there's no tanking you play. You've already tanked. You've already tanked. You've ruined. Yeah, you've secured the at least the second worst.
You
you've
think
just,
just the second worst? You think so?
I mean, at least. I mean, what Washington wins 10 games and we win seven?
No, no, no. I don't think so because um, we had the worst record last year and we got the fifth pick. So how do we secure the top two?
No, no, no. That's not what I said.
What'd you say?
You at least secure the top, the second worst record in the league this
Oh,
year.
the second worst record. Yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying.
You've secured that. I mean, if you need to be number
Maybe
one,
what's the Hornets?
I don't know, but I think they're better than nine. They've won more than 9 games. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, I mean, even if that is the case, that doesn't mean at this
It,
point we
it's
might not have
at this
secured
point,
it.
yeah. At this point, it really doesn't.
Oh, okay. So they're fifth. They've won 15 games, so they're six.
So
They're six up on us. It's
because
just crazy because they've lost to us twice this year. So I figured they got to be just nearly as bad. But no,
absolutely, and but the thing is,
Spurs, Spurs are 11-49
yeah.
against them.
But do you feel any different about your chances at the end of the season between those four teams getting the number one pick for the best player? No,
No,
because we saw last year we were hands down the worst team in the league and got the number five pick. Nothing is guaranteed. It's not like the NFL. Do you wish it was more like the NFL though? Worst team gets the first pick.
it's a catch-22 in the case that we are the are it's in the case that in the case of the Pistons, where we have been the worst team the last well, this year and last year, of course, I would love for that to be the case. But I do hate the fact that you have the ability to have the power in your own hands to just piss the season away because I don't want to see that.
Right.
Um,
That's probably why
and
they
at
don't
least in
do it.
football, they only play 18. You only play
That's
17
why they
games.
don't do it. It's too much
Right.
money on the. It's too much money on the floor for that.
Yeah. So
82
with
games?
basketball, 82 games,
Nah,
you,
you're
you
right.
gotta you gotta sit there through tireless weeks of just losing, losing, losing. No matter what, the Lions could only lose 16 games in a row or 17 games. That's it. No opportunity to lose 28. That's for sure. Unless we're talking several seasons, but it just don't happen like that in the NFL. So,
For
um,
sure.
so yeah, so no, so I no, come to think of it, no, because I don't want to see. I hate seeing tanking where you see at the end of the year and every star is on the bench. That shit, that is annoying to me. See see
It's a kid's show.
that's how frustrating. Yeah,
It's a kid's show for us.
family show, but that just shows how frustrating it is to watch.
Yeah, it's this is one season for the ages. I thought last season was bad record wise. It just goes to show you got to be thankful for everything you get because,
Yeah, because you think it can't get any worse.
and then it gets worse.
Hold my beer.
Yeah, it's insane, bro. It's insane. So, I guess one of the things I want to talk about is uh, it feels different on that court for the Pistons lately. Like after the trades and this, that, and other, it feels different. They get down though. They get down a few points, and it's like they're down. You look up, they're down 10, 8, 10 points, and it's like, and then next thing you know, they've chipped away. They've been fighting. They have been fighting.
Cade has been great. I often waver back and forth between Cade, Cade being the guy, Ivy being the guy. Right now, Cade is on the up and up, and Ivy is taking the back seat. And I just cannot wait to it's like Cade drops 32, but Ivy drops 26. Like ideally in this day and age, you gotta have 2, 3 stars on your Jokic's and your Murray's and then you got your Gordons or Porters or you got your Hardens, Paul Georges, and Leonards. Like you gotta have 2, 3 stars that are all snapping. So you just hate the fact that as of right now, Cade has a great game, and then in the Knicks game, Ivy didn't even finish. It didn't even finish. It was Grimes that finished that game.
I think
Um,
that was for defense.
Defense, and I mean, I don't think Ivy really had it in the New York game.
Yeah, he had it. He had a bad shooting day, but I know Grimes is a better defender as well.
Yes, which is one of the things that when we talked about what he brought to the team from New York,
Hmm.
that's one thing that we knew that I was certain that he would bring is that defensive intensity. And although his offense has been spotty, he has displayed the defensive ability. And that's the one thing about it. As long as he's physically athletic and healthy, that's always going to be a constant for him. It's just going to be a matter of if he knocks down his shot. So, um, but yeah, so yeah, yeah, Ivy has often. It's often when Cade is hurt or on the bench, which I feel like the easy solution to that is to stagger Cade and Ivy to where neither one of they're never both on the bench at the same time. There should be at least one of them. If Ivy is running the offense on the second team, I feel like we need to try that out because not only does our production fall off a cliff when all the starters leave the game, but obviously for whatever reason they don't the dynamic of them playing off of each other is not there yet. And I say yet because I hope and hope and pray that eventually uh, they will get there. But um, yeah, I need both of them to be clicking on the same night.
I got something to say, Foster.
What's up?
Jalen Duren. Um, I like you, Jalen. I really do. I think you're going to be a good centerpiece for this team. But what cannot continue to happen, you cannot have the small forward heart at the center position on defense.
I can't even say small forward hurt because
I'm gonna tell you why I think like that,
oh,
Foster.
small forward. I'm thinking power forward. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I
Go ahead.
ain't a small forward. He better be glad I'm not saying shooting guard at on defense at the five. Look, you let these guys, these guards, score over you. You let these centers bully you. something has to change. Something has to change. I don't know what it is. You have the athletic ability, you're strong. Um, I don't know what it is. We have to figure it out though, because there's just no way, no way Josh Hart should get an and one over you at the end of the game.
And he's tough. He's tough at the basket. He's a bull out there, but
No,
he
that would have never happened to Embiid. Now that's saying elite. That's going from during the elite. But I'm saying that wouldn't happen to too many good centers out there. Can't I mean, at the end of the game? No.
at least foul him
Fouling.
to where he can't finish.
Yeah,
That's the killer
tie
part.
him up. Something.
And I'm telling you, he learned. I don't know when this started, but the whole straight up method where he's not in the shot blocker's mindset. He's in the I'm going to um, disrupt the shot with my vertical jumping ability, but good finishers know how to jump into the body and use their momentum against you. And I feel like he doesn't have like where I know a lot of people have been comparing him to Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was a prolific shot blocker from what I recall. I could be wrong, but
Yeah. During this toughen up buttercup. You gotta you gotta we need you to play a little tougher defensively.
yeah, because
Mm,
you're a big dude is a giant. Like he's a force to be reckoned with,
yeah.
but he just doesn't um
Most 7-footers, Foster, are intimidating to go up against in the paint. And I don't care if
ain't
you're a center, I
ain't
don't care
worried
if you're a
about
power forward. Guards are not worried about going up against Duran. I mean, and like I said, there was one game uh, against the Suns. Uh, what's the center name? Nazarick or something? What's
Nurkic.
Nurkic? He was doing whatever he wanted versus Duran,
And
and
that's a
I'm like,
big tough, you know,
yeah,
uh,
but if you tell me that he'd have trouble with that center, then I'd be like, there's no center he can handle, and there's no starting center he can handle in the NBA.
Nurkic isn't that bad, but
I mean,
I
he's
catch your
not
drift.
Embiid. He's not
Well,
Embiid.
well, you always throw it in B like that's not the second or the
He's
best
not
center in the
he's
entire
he's not the
league.
guy from Minnesota.
Town, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you can't defend that, you definitely can't compete with the elite. And I'm not saying you're supposed to at your second year in, but
Yeah,
you gotta make some noise.
yeah.
You gotta
And
be
we won't even get on the Wiseman. He is ah, just when you
Foster,
think that
Foster.
he's got
I don't
something going,
I don't have I don't have enough Tylenol 4s to talk about that guy. My head is gonna explode. My head.
he's so gone. He's
He
so cooked.
and then like I was wondering why Golden State would trade him.
Oh, were you?
Oh, I see now. I thought it was I thought he didn't have the opportunity because of the way that team is built. That team is predicated on outside shooting and running the
Right,
floor.
right.
So I
He
said,
doesn't.
there's no place for a center. They need a scrappy center like Looney. You don't have to be 7 foot. You can be 6'9", and as long as you can rebound and block a few shots and run the floor, you'll be fine. But I'm thinking Wiseman is more than that, and maybe he's not happy in that role, and maybe that's why he's not trying, and he just needs the opportunity to go somewhere where he can be more of his style of type of player. But I'm thinking he'd probably be better off suited. to where he's not dependent on the score, where he can just run the floor, get rebounds, you know what I'm saying, play some defense because he's not it.
he is he gonna be right with Killian pretty soon because I think he's averaging like 5 points a game, something crazy
Did,
like that.
did Killian get picked up?
Amazon is hiring, my boy.
Ah, it's crazy. The reason why I'm laughing at that, I don't want to see anybody without a job, but I think that's funny because before he was waived, his representative said he wanted to part ways with Detroit.
He had to they thought there was some more interest out there than that though, because there's no
Well,
way he thought he'd be.
you got what you asked for, buddy. They parted ways, and uh, I go overseas, man. Kimba hit almost 100 over there, man. You good for
That
12?
was that wasn't real.
Uh,
I don't think that was real.
that wasn't real. I mean, I'm just saying, if that's real, he good for 12 points over there. If Kimba can hit 96,
Right? Yeah.
he good for 12. That's good.
I think they said that was fake.
Oh, okay. So
They,
I
I think
mean,
they, I think they said he doesn't even start. The Mike James, not the one that played for the Pistons, but the other guy, Mike James,
well, I'm glad
is
Kimba didn't
start.
score all them points after he got here and didn't do anything for us. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't think he ever even touched the court
exactly.
or anywhere else because I don't think he went anywhere else
No,
and played either. So
I mean, we had him on the roster. I'm just saying you didn't contribute a thing. I hope you don't go anywhere else and contribute.
I
I'm here.
actually, I actually had hope for Killian to get picked up just out of curiosity to see if maybe it was a system, opportunity, coaching. But he's obviously viewed in the same way that most Pistons fans are, as somebody that's just not a.
Foster.
I hope that at least he gets a camp tryout, workout type deal. There's no way he's that bad.
Hey, Foster, I have to admit something. Me and you were both wrong.
About what?
There was a friend of ours, Trigger Ty,
I
that said,
remember.
you'll be able to see what Killian can do after the first game. He wasn't lying.
I mean, the statement itself was a little insane because I think he was going into his second
Second
year.
year. It was in his second year.
Yeah,
And he
and he
said,
was
you'll be
hurt.
able to see, give him one game and you'll see what you got. And we were like, no, come on. And I don't agree with the theory, but he wasn't lying.
It's crazy because his finale game for the Pistons, he had like 10 assists, and we beat the Kings.
Yeah. But that just goes to show for us. If he was waived and not picked up, it wasn't just us.
Very interesting that even the I
Washington didn't
think
even,
I,
Washington or the Spurs didn't holler at you?
I was gonna say at the very least, I think the Spurs are worried that he might mess up and they start winning too many games with him. Because I can't, as bad as the Spurs need a point guard, there's no way they didn't at least take a flyer on him for the rest of the year, bring him back for camp. Like, why not? Another French guy that his reputation is that bad around the league. I mean, the numbers do say he was the worst offensive player in the league, but what 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 will it hurt you to try? Kind of crazy. Six five guard and and above average passer. That's by looking at the metrics, but just like that. Obviously, not the starter minutes the Pistons were giving him, but off that alone, how is he not worthy of at least a look?
You would think, right? You would think. You would think somebody there's somebody in need of a practice player at least. At least that. There's
Uh,
so many rosters with injured players. You'd think somebody would say, okay,
well, he said, you know what? He's sitting on guaranteed money, so he's probably just not. He's probably not even uh, interested in a like you talking about a G League?
I mean anybody. Anybody. Like it's just rare to see a seventh pick in their fourth year get waived and nobody gives him a try.
Well, I think James Booknight. I mean, those guys do exist now.
They exist, but it's not often. Hold on a second, Foss. Let's get to a break real quick. It's nothing that we haven't seen before. I'm just saying it's we've seen him play. We know he's good enough to be on a roster. I will say that. He's good enough to be on a roster. I've seen worse on a roster. But I just know he didn't work out in the Pistons plan. And I kind of knew that a year ago. I was just hoping that this year, because we said in the offseason, he's on trial. Now, I didn't think he would fail and not make not make it after All-Star break, but he just didn't work out. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes it happens. When's our next game, Foss?
Friday.
Versus
Wait for it. The Cavs in Detroit.
oh. Did you see the way they won last night?
Yeah, the buzzer beater
Oh, I hate them.
from like half quarter or something. It was a long shot.
Gosh, I hate them. Anyway, I don't even want to talk. Anyway, they tomorrow is the 29th. I mean, March 1st. Remember, we said February was a gauntlet of a schedule.
The first half, I think, was.
Well, we said February was brutal. We didn't say first half. We said February was brutal. It wasn't as bad as we thought it would be.
Well, who's the last couple games? We played the Magic, Knicks, and Bulls. No way we thought the Bulls would be a tough one.
But I'm saying, I'm not talking about wins and losses per se, even though we did win a couple early in the month of February, but being pretty competitive in a lot of those games. There were some that were bad. Lakers, we didn't have a chance. Clippers, we were in that game most of the game until the end.
Yeah, that was definitely a game we circled like, oh, that's a loss.
Yeah, Paul George had 18 in the fourth quarter. And it's like there's a couple other games that were very close. And then we had a comeback victory in Portland where it looked bad. And they were on all cylinders. They were looking like a different team, but came back and won. Like we thought February was like a no-win month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it didn't seem as bad. Like we're at the end of the month, and we probably should have went 2-3 the last 3 games.
Yeah.
You know, so and I do predict. I don't make predictions. I do think the Pistons will win at least once every 3 games the rest of the season.
So what would the record be at the end?
I don't know, but I said they were going to win 10 out of 28. So that's about 1 every 3.
10 out of 28 is awful.
It
so
is
that's 10 and 18.
Yeah, that is awful, but what was the first half of the season?
Honestly, I won't say it's a tale of 2 different seasons, but
No, I never said that. I just said this is what they're finishing.
No, I'm just saying that it has been a vast difference in the second half.
Mm-hmm. I'm just expecting them to win about 1 every 3 games instead of those big long losing streaks that they've had in the first.
Yeah, we won't see a losing streak of more than like 3.
Well, that's what I said. They're gonna win about 1 every 3.
Oh yeah, that's what you're saying.
To end the season. And I'm not saying it's gonna be a miracle comeback season or a wonderful 28 game stretch. I'm just saying the competitiveness is there. I think what they have right now is a lot better than what they had before. I'll take Fontacchio over uh, Killian any day on the
Oh,
roster. Uh, uh, Bogey didn't play, but a handful. I mean, how many games did he miss? You know what I'm
this
saying?
year,
Yeah,
the
he
first
missed.
20.
He missed the first 20 games. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to give him time to acclimate. You know what I'm saying?
Then they
Uh,
saw it sat on right before they were about to trade. So.
yeah. So, and then you had the injuries to Softy, the snowman Duran. Uh,
Oh
uh,
wow,
well,
that's his name.
that's no. I'm just saying, man. He was injured often early. Uh, you had Cade, he was injured. Uh, so there's some things you had to fight through. Oh, we got some comments at the end of the show. I like that. Oh man. It's Dave, everyone. No biggie. Skull, gentlemen, says Dave. Just a flyby like and comment. Appreciate you, Dave. Dave is our buddy out of Austin, Texas, and he covers the Minnesota Vikings as me and Foster talk Lions as well uh, on FFSN, Motor City Metrics as well. You can check Bleachers and Speakers out there, along with our streaming podcast on any podcast streaming podcast platforms. You can check us post game podcast FFSN or Bleachers and Speakers FFSN. You'll find the Lions talk and you'll find Pistons here. So, Boss, what are you expecting versus Cleveland?
The home game. It should be fun. I think it's going to be a good. I think it's going to be a good turnout.
I
Um,
don't like them, man. They're so good.
I wouldn't mind going to that game, honestly. But yeah, I think that should be a good fight. I really want to see. Um, I want to see Mitchell and Ivy go at it again. Um, I always like the idea, the optics of the guard versus guard dynamics, just because they have two star guards, we have two, potential star guards. Um, I do think that they have they've always had the edge down low with Mobley and Allen.
Yeah.
Um, but I want to see Grimes versus Mitchell too, because Grimes is tough on defense. And I want to see Thompson. I want to see Thompson go head to head with some of their tough guards.
Hey,
But
bro,
yeah,
I like the kid, man. I like Thompson.
yes, and I like that he continues to shoot the ball confidently.
Not scared.
We've
Not
seen
scared.
we saw him hit a clutch three in the
Last night.
Knicks. Was it a Knicks game
He hit a clutch three last night.
last night too?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say he had one versus the Knicks as well. Well, we won. Well, we didn't even talk about the fact that we beat the Bulls again last night, but
Oh, we're getting to it. We're going to end the show with that.
okay. But yeah, he's continuing to shoot confidently. He's only going to get better with his work ethic and him having that mindset of I am going to hit these threes. And as far as defensively, he's he's good. He's good defensively, and in transition, he is a problem in transition. So yes, he is going to be all right. Um, he's going to be all right. He's going to be all right.
Yeah. That's it's crazy. It's crazy. I think he brings a lot to the table. And Foster, you don't. I'm a firm believer. If he works on his shot, he can get better at it.
Yeah. The last couple of days definitely made me a believer. Just him hitting some because they are forcing him to shoot these threes. It's so blatant that it's like he has to shoot them. He has to. As an NBA player who as an NBA player, he cannot not take that shot. That's a
Yeah.
double negative. I understand, but y'all know what I'm trying to say.
He
So
just needs to find in the off season, he needs to find where he's more comfortable shooting that three. Some people have
it's the corner for sure.
some
That's no
people can what was that defender that played for San Antonio for years?
Bowen.
Bruce Bowen couldn't hit a three nowhere else but them corners. He knocked them
Yeah,
down.
yeah. He was lights out.
He was lights out from the. He couldn't hit it nowhere else. Couldn't hit a shot nowhere else on the court.
And he's not a bad comparison. I mean, because he was a great
Defender,
defender,
great
but
defender.
Thompson is much more athletic
He's more
than him.
athletic. He can tack the basket. He's
Right. He's got more tools. He's got the tools.
yeah. So
He's got to work on that handle too. I feel like when he's pushing
he
that ball
threw
up the
the
court,
ball away in crunch time last night too. Look,
I'm not even talking about the pass. So his literal just handle of having dribbling the ball is very loose, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. He's kind of careless with the ball, and I think that has some. It looks bad with him dribbling, but I think he's careless with the ball. I think Duran had some timely turnovers last night. They tried to get a game away last night. They tried feeding trying to feed Stewart into the post. I mean, he's not my option in the clutch. You have to be smarter than that. Don't try to force feed Stewart the ball into the post with uh, a minute or two left, and you're trying to maintain a lead. You better off holding the ball, letting one of those guards come and get in, let them create, do whatever.
And
Trying to go ahead.
I jokingly said that the reason why we've been losing, which was those last couple games, was because Stewart um, has been suspended and he was the missing piece. And it was a joke, but he did start and we did win pretty handedly. Didn't we win by like 9 points?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
a pretty
mean, it
considerable.
looked
Yeah, by
good
10
because
points. 10 points.
he kept missing threes and then he hit a couple in the second half. That's what I'm talking about when you say you can't be scared to shoot. I don't care what your percentage is. You can't not shoot the ball.
And one
Right.
thing about it, Stu this year has been pretty confident shooting. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't and it just goes to show that you can get better. And if Thompson could be 75% as good as Stewart at shooting threes, oh my,
Yeah.
because Stu, unless the numbers have dropped down, is flirting with 40% from three, which is
Pretty good.
pretty amazing.
Pretty good. Especially for a power forward.
Yeah. Although a lot of these power forwards can shoot threes now.
Not nowadays, yeah. You know what? And then like this goes full circle as we're gonna talk about last night in particular. Uh last night in particular, the Pistons beat the Bulls, and there were times where the Bulls went on a run and were up double digits in the second half, and the Pistons climbed back into it. And next thing you know, they took the lead in the fourth quarter with about 8 minutes left and never looked back. It might have been 5 minutes left, but I know they never looked back. And it was it was good to see to play with a lead and to hold on to it. During that span, Thompson hit a three from the corner. Uh, I think they were up 5, and he had the ball with, like, 2 minutes left, and he hit the three to put him up 8, and that pretty much, kept him at bay. You miss that shot, and they come down and make it, it's a different ballgame.
Yeah, he was 2 for 4 from threes last night. So that's
Yeah. So, I think the Pistons I like what they did last night. Um, they looked pretty good at times, and then there were certain times where they didn't look so good, but Cade is playing great basketball right now. I think they went on a they had a spur where they didn't turn the ball over for a while. I think they had a low number of turnovers overall last night. I think at one point they said they only had 14 turnovers.
Mm.
which is pretty good for them. Like they were having 19 and 20 turnovers a game. So to have a game like 13 or 14 turnovers, which is bad by NBA standards. How many?
We actually finished with 17.
Yeah, it's still horrible. But I think there were two turnovers within the last 2 minutes where the game was out of hand
Yeah,
for
very
sure.
possible that it was that they were just
And
irrelevant later
and
in the
that was
season.
during throwing the ball away. He threw the ball. He tried to force feed Stewart twice, and he threw the ball away. It was
I
just
think
go ahead.
I think the biggest takeaway was the fact that we held them under 100 points. Like in this day and age,
When
holding
was
it
the last time the Pistons held anybody under 100 points? What was the score? 105, 95?
95. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's in
And you
this
know
day.
what?
Yeah.
And they felt pretty good after that game. They felt pretty good. Like Cade was at the press table smiling like this feels good.
Usually we win without Cade. I ain't gonna lie. We usually win without Cade.
I like
Remember
the
that one game where Bogey was hurt, Cade was hurt? Well, no, Bogey was sitting because he was about to get traded.
mhm.
Cade was hurt, and we still won because Alec Burks dropped like 40. Like it's like that. Like
I like
Cade.
to see what the Pistons record is without Cade this year.
Oh, it's awful, I'm sure, but it's but we got but we I think we have more wins. Uh, maybe
We only
not,
got
but
9. It's not hard to figure out.
we only got 9. But we also won like when we beat the Bulls and the Hornets early. Cade played in those games too. So
Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
and then I know we beat the Wizards um, on King Day, and we beat the Hornets again. But I want to say those two games, Cade didn't play, and then the Kings game, he didn't play. So
Mm,
he's probably been present for half or a third of them.
yeah.
Not half. I think about half.
There was some close games without Cade though. Some very, very close games.
Yeah.
All right, that about wrap it up for us. We're glad to be here this week, especially with the Pistons playing competitively these last 3 games. You can check me and B Foster's show post game podcast on Motor City Metrics. You can also subscribe to our second channel called Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. It's a small channel. We only have 100 subscribers. We need more. So please, if you're listening, subscribe to that channel. Foster has some very nice segments, player segments on NFL players, and we're going to start uploading segments from NBA players as well, uh, and prospects as well. So check us out there. You can also check us out on all streaming podcast platforms. All you have to do, put in the search post game podcast FFSN or Bleachers to Speakers uh, FFSN. Search those. Follow both of those on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, all those things, and download the episodes. And you'll hear great content about the Detroit Pistons and the Detroit Lions. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There'll be a lot of stuff going on with the off season and stuff like that. Basketball is nearing the end. We still got more basketball to talk about, but there's a free agency period and a draft that's going to happen in the off season that we're going to talk about. So just because the season's over doesn't mean these shows will be over, and we will be talking more basketball. And there should be some optimism at the end of the year, I think, because of we've been through the grunt of a bad season for most of the season, and they're playing better. And right now, we have a different product on the floor, few new pieces, and it'll be good to just watch and see how they do. Foster, you have anything to say before we get out of here?
Simone Fontecchio is our savior. I want you guys to remember that.
Savior?
He's our savior.
Okay, okay. Well, I
Junior,
hope he
Junior
hits.
Bogey, Junior Bogey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, for us, the team is so different. Like we said, remember when we said this is a make or break year for Killian and Bagley, and neither one of them are here.
Well, it's crazy. Well, but that was true though.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
make or break, and they were broke. And what
Yeah.
has Bagley been doing? I haven't really paid as much because the Wizards have been just so. The only headlines I see
He
are
went to
just,
a team that had a better record when he got over there. Now we're at the same, so it's like you're just as bad off.
oh wow, he had 20 and 9 last night. He's still cooking.
He can still play. He just wasn't consistent enough here.
Well, after a while, they started DNPing him for Wiseman. They just decided that he wasn't worth paying. Yeah, he had 9 and 9 against the Cavs, which is an actual real center.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Bagley will he'll continue to get be in the league and get paid somewhere, but he may never play on a winning team. He's literally never done that. He's played for the Kings as bad as they were, like for the extent of time that they were bad, and then he played for the Pistons and then the Wizards. You know how bad they are. So yeah, he may never be able to be on a contributing winning basketball team as an NBA player. It's kind of sad.
Mm. All right. Well, let's get out of here. I want to dedicate this show to a friend of mine who passed away this morning. Her name is Darnia. Her daughter texted me this morning and told me that her mom passed away. We had been friends for almost 30 years and didn't talk to her as much as I used to. But it's just crazy, man. Life is too short, man. Stay in touch with your friends, man. You never know what they're going on, was what they're going through. I talked to her about a month ago and everything was great. You know, no serious health issues. And this morning, she had a seizure and it was a horrific one. But rest in peace to my friend Darnia. And I don't want to end it on a somber note, man. Go Pistons, man.